Okay, that's it for the garden. Let's walk down. I'll head this way and show you my trees and the irrigation and how I got all that set up. Man, it was a lot of work. It's pretty cool, so let's check that out. Okay, so here's a maple tree, and it's been here quite a few years actually. They just grow slow in this bad soil we have. So here's my little emitter. So you can screw these up and down, and it puts out like 6 streams that come out from that little nozzle, and it just kind of sprays in here. But you can turn them down or up however strong you want. So this was all covered with cardboard and wood chips put down. So now don't have to worry about grass growing up around them. So I did that to all these trees. And this is all in one watering circuit. There's this one. You can see that little emitter right there. And here's one. Also have it on these 2 clumps of pampas grass, I think is what it's called, and a rose. So we got 2 of these. It's another one right here. We're going to split this grass up and move it around, but I didn't get to it. It's too late now. Another little rose. So all up and down this hill from that hydrant, I ran my drip lines. So one of these is for this top terrace, and another goes down below, and it heads down there and does all the trees down there, and then it goes down one more level, and there's a few trees in the tree line. There's a vitex down there, and there's one little tree way over there it gets. So there's probably about 25 of those emitters that this is running, and it gets these trees right here to the end of that little dip. Oh, look at these. Used to, we had wildflowers planted all along here from seed, but not a lot of them came back. Here's one. And they're coming back pretty thin. Looks like we've got another white one down here. Yeah. So this is like the 3rd year for these. The first year, man, they were out here everywhere and they were really pretty. But here's the next row of trees right here. You can see one right there. There's another right there in front of the beehives. And the other row is down here. And the last tree is like right there on the last one on the line. There's my wellhead right there. But I have sunflower seed. I'm wanting to seed this with sunflower seeds right here. Here's the vitex. Now these vitex plants are a different variety. These are called Negundo is the variety. And this has the small flower that bees really go for. And these bloom when nothing else is really blooming, when it's hot. So it gives the bees a little bit of nectar in the heat of the summer. So there's a maple. All these are on the drip system. It's another vitex. That one's a little froze back, looks like. All right, let's go talk about the bees for a minute. So the bees are doing really good this year. They had a fairly mild winter to survive. We've had good weather. The only problem we've had is the wind on good forage days. So they've had quite a few good forage days. They've had quite a few forage days back when the red buds were blooming that there was no wind or light winds, and they did okay. Red buds are done. So now we have honey locust trees blooming. I'm behind on my bee inspections because of the wind and some of the rain. So what I've done recently, I just get down here and do as fast as I can. I checked for swarm cells and I found a few, and I have not been in here for 10 days since then. So one thing I did, and I'm doing a new experiment this year. So you can see back here there's a hive that's a single deep with a honey super, and right here are 2 single deeps with a honey super. So what I've done, and here's one here, I've reduced it down. I took out like the top deep box because it wasn't a real strong hive, and I combined it down to 1, made it a really strong single deep, and put a honey super on them. And I will overwinter them in a single box, because there's some folks in Oklahoma that do that and they seem to have okay luck. I've always run these double deep systems, so they have a lot of honey, but it seems to work for them with 1 box. It doesn't get that cold and they don't need that much honey to get through winter. I noticed I've had a lot of excess honey in some of my hives. They don't ever get to it. So I'm going to do an experiment and try some of those like that. So today I'm going to get in here and I'm going to look for hives that are ready to swarm, that have capped swarm cells, queen cells, and find my queen, move her out into another box of her own, and do some splits, because I have these vacant positions I need to fill. I think I've got 6 vacants. Okay, here is my drip system that does on this side of the drive all the way to the road, and the crepe myrtles that go down there next to my neighbor all the way down there. So it does those, and I'll show you the last drip system and trees over there. So the bulbs are all done. They were spectacular. This was all tulips here, so I've deadheaded all of these to right here, and then it got dark on me, so I still need to deadhead in that direction. So those the energy from that stem that won't make these little bulbs, it'll put the energy down into the main bulb. So that's what you don't want. You want those off of there. So just break them off, and that was what was over in my compost pile. So I need to do all of these still. So my last irrigation line, you see where it goes through here, goes over to that willow tree, and it does all these trees here up along the main road there, and it does all of these evergreens. Indian paintbrush. That's just a wildflower. So off of that hydrant right there, it does this row of blue emerald cypress and this row of crepe myrtles. And those crepe myrtles up there are in the poorest dirt you have ever seen. It is hard pan, sandy clay. So we've lost, I think, 4 of these emerald cypress, and we ordered some more. We didn't get the same size, but it's the same tree. They're just different size. So I got the wood chips going all around those, and I also fertilize all these with evergreen fertilizer spikes. And these little trees turning a little brown for some reason, so I'm keeping them good and watered. I don't know if I let them get too dry. Combination of that with that fertilizer spike might have burned them a little bit. You can see the track where my little water line goes, and it also does this maple and that ash tree there That's in memory of our daughter Ashley. But check this out. We call these toadstools. I don't know why. That's what we call them. Now you can see we've been working on these flower beds, getting them cleaned out. We removed that Mondo rose bush that was right there and replaced it with a bush rose bush, not a climber. That one wasn't supposed to be a climber, but it turned out that's what it was. We got the climbers over here on this trellis, and I still need to build some brackets and get this off of there and get that thing vertical. So that's on my honey-do list. But got all this cleaned out. Put the hummingbird feeders out this week. We've actually seen a couple of hummingbirds. And one last thing, and we'll end this long video. One last drip system I did, the last one, I think. No, it wasn't the last. Anyway, I've got it right here on this hydrant. And over here by the bunker, I've got 1/2-inch drip lines all around that, 12-inch spaced emitters. And I've got them in here. We still haven't got these things planted. We still need to get the dirt into them and get them planted, but I have the lines in there. Then the line comes over to here, and this has 12-inch drip line in it, 12-inch emitter space drip line. Then the line goes down into this bed. So this is full of the same emitter line, and each one has a cutoff valve. I was concerned I would have too much out here and it wouldn't properly water because I had too much line on one circuit. So I can shut half of them off if I want, and do half of them for like 90 minutes and the other half for like 90 minutes, and it does a good job. It's better to do that than to run it for 3 hours. And I do most of that on my well water when I've got enough water available in my cistern. But yeah, man, these irises are coming in pretty. So this bed here has the drip lines. That rock came from Mena, Arkansas, and I think they said it came from somewhere in Missouri. And then this bed here, I've got one little line going around that, and I have some little individual emitters right here. These are 2 gallons an hour is what those are. I've got it on those 2 grasses there and over there. And this bed here has the line. You can see it here. Some of these are 18-inch spaced and some are 12. I think I tried to get as many 12 as I could. And then I have the line ran over here, but there's no emitters in this area and this area here. You can just see that black line running right here with the valves turned off. So I have the line there. I just need to plug in the emitters to get what I want. Just didn't get to that. Okay, so we'll end this right where we left off, going under this widowmaker tree here. I meant to get that cut out last year and never did. It's just a big old leaner, and it's leaning up there on all that. It's kind of neat, but it needs to go. Another thing on the list. So I know this was a long video if you made it this far. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to do one of these a month, but didn't get it done. Just been too busy. So I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and We'll catch you on the next Homestead update. Y'all take care.